Q&A Tuesday, all your voice questions answered. In this video, I'll be sharing the 3 best ways to cure your fear of public speaking so that you can speak up with a voice of confidence and ease on camera to grow your business faster with video. Hi, I'm Elisa James, and you're watching the Voice of Confidence TV, the best place to be to learn how to share your message with a strong, confident, and healthy voice for life. You know, as a performer with over 30 years of experience and multiple degrees in voice production and holistic health, I know firsthand the powerful impact that your voice and communication style can actually have on your life. In fact, the quality of your communication is directly related to your happiness and your fulfillment. So today, I'd like to help you get over the #1 fear that holds business owners back from growing their business. That is avoiding the camera. But before we get started, make sure that you share, like, and subscribe. Give me some love and let me know you're here. Okay, let's dive right in. Since the fear of public speaking, otherwise known as glossophobia, is such a big issue for so many of my aspiring speaker clients, in this video, I'll be sharing the 3 tips, my 3 best tips to cure that pesky problem for good. The very first one, #1, is reframe and change the game. This tip is one of the most important things that I ever learned in my 30+ year career as a singer and an actor, because I used to suffer from really bad nerves and stage fright every single time I'd be on stage or at an audition or on camera, and it drove me crazy. Until one day when I was on a cruise ship and I was doing my show as normal, feeling nervous as normal, and I met this wonderful other performer comedian called Marty. And Marty was a lot older than me and really calm and really funny and really engaging on stage, and he never looked nervous. He never felt nervous. He never experienced nerves. And I thought that was amazing because I was one of the most nervy performers that I'd ever met. Not that it stopped me, mind you, but it was really annoying because I just wanted to enjoy myself on stage and be shaking less. So here's what he told me. He sat me down and I said to him, I really need to get over this nerve thing. It's driving me insane. What can I do? And he said, look, I've been doing this for a long time and I've got 3 words for you and I want you to write it down. And they're really, really important and they're going to change your life. So I got really excited. And so I got out my notepad and a pen out of my bag and I sat there in the booth, in the cafe on the cruise ship, getting ready to write these 3 words that were going to change my life. And he said, get over it. Get over it. That's it. Get over it. Ugh! I was so frustrated and angry with him at the time. I didn't know what to do because that was not the answer that I was looking for. But I did find the solution a little while after that. And that was something else that somebody said to me that really started to shift for me. And he said to me, the audience is not against you. They are for you. F-O-R. The audience is for you. Whether it's on camera or whether it's on stage, you know, it doesn't really matter. Because when you're standing in front of an audience, the audience wants to be uplifted, inspired, engaged, entertained. That's what they want. They're paying for a ticket to see you perform or speak or whatever it is, and they expect to get value out of it. So they're absolutely for you 100%, and they don't want to be let down, and they don't want to be embarrassed by you freaking out or going red and blushing and shaking and not being able to speak coherently. They don't want that from you. They want you to succeed. They want you to entertain them. They want you to have fun. So why not just let go and do that? So here's the second thing that was the most important thing that I learned from all those years on stage after I was nervous for too many years. The second thing was just as important as the first, and that is that it's not about you. And this is so true for anyone who suffers from nerves, from public speaking, from singing, from acting, whatever the nerves are that you're experiencing. You've got to realize that when you're on stage or when you're on camera, it's not about you. If you're doing your job, it's about the audience and their journey that you're taking them on. The journey that they're going through in their mind, in their body, in their hearts, in their souls when you perform and when you speak. For instance, have you ever listened to a singer? And when you listen to the singer, you're listening to the words of the music, and then your heart starts to feel really warm and you get warm and fuzzy all over, and then the hairs on your arms and the back of your neck start to stand up and you start to get goosebumps because you're feeling something. You're in the song, you're in the story, you're in the experience. You're feeling that vibration from the beautiful music that's coming out of that person's mouth or from the orchestra. It's not about the performer, guys. It's not about the speaker. It's about the listener. If you can tell a story and make sure that the person who's listening to you, the audience, is visualizing it and seeing it, feeling that story with you, then you've done your job. You're not there for you. You're not there to show off. You're there to make a difference. That, number one, reframe and change the game, was a complete life changer for me. I was at a point in my career where I almost stopped singing for a living because it was too stressful. It was just so stressful for me to go on stage. And this was after years and years and years of performing for a living. I almost gave up because I found it so stressful due to the nerves. When I reframed like that, everything shifted. Suddenly, it was more of a joy. It was a joy for me to speak. It was a joy for me to sing. It was a joy for me to act. Because when I did, I saw the transformation in the audience. Not in me, in my audience. I saw the smiles on people's faces. I saw their faces light up. I saw them walking away singing or remembering something that I'd said because I knew that I'd changed somebody's life. So reframe and change the game. Number two, what's the one thing? Now this is another really simple tip for you guys. When you're on stage as a speaker, what's the one thing that you want to leave your audience? It's an intention that you set at the beginning of your speech. So make sure that you get to the end of the speech knowing that you've shifted something in somebody's mind. If you want them to be inspired to go and do something, make sure that that intention is set before you walk on the stage, because that will also change that reframe and make it easier for you to be there. Knowing that when you walk off that stage, you know that a large portion of that audience are going to go and change their life because of something you said. They're going to make an action. They're going to take an action. They're going to sign up to something. They're going to go and achieve something that they couldn't have achieved without your help. So what's the one thing that you would like to leave behind when you walk off that stage? Write it down. What's your intention behind every single video or every single stage performance that you do? So for instance, my intention for this video is to help as many people as I can to get over the nerves so they can get in front of a camera. Because if you can get in front of a camera, you can grow your business. Not only are you facing your fears and you're feeling better about yourself, you learn new skills and you learn how to share your message with a greater audience. That's my intention for this video. So what's your intention behind every single time you walk on stage or stand in front of the camera? Number 3, grounding the breath. Now, as a holistic voice coach, I teach a lot of biomechanics around the voice, especially the psychology behind the sound and the way that the breath functions and also the phonation system functions. But this is the most important thing that you can learn if you are suffering from stage fright and anxiety when you're in front of a camera or on stage. And it's called grounding the breath. And all it is a simple exercise to make sure that you feel strong and grounded when you're performing or speaking so that your breath can function properly. Because think about it. What happens to us when we're actually nervous and anxious? Normally, if we track the physiological symptoms of nerves, we'll notice that our heart beats really fast. Sometimes you start to shake. I remember as a young child when I was in baton twirling competitions or piano playing competitions, my hands would shake and my palms would sweat, and it was really hard to throw my baton up and actually catch it because it would literally slide out of my hands. I was that nervous. So what are the symptoms that you actually experience? Think about it. For me, it was shaking. It was the heartbeat was beating so fast it felt like I was going to die because it was going to thump out of my chest. And then I'd find that my stomach would be really, really tight, and there'd be tension here and there'd be tension here, and my legs might be shaking as well. There was no grounding going on because I was fully in fight or flight. Now, you cannot control your voice or your mind or your speaking function when you're seriously in fight or flight. So here's a really quick way to ground it. Number 1, stand up super tall. The second that we feel anxiousness, what we do is usually this. We start to hunch and we start to contract inwards, and we're holding the breath. It's the worst thing you can do. You cannot think properly when you're holding the breath from the tummy and the throat and everything starts to choke up. Stand up straight. Now, the next thing you're going to do is start to wriggle your toes. Literally wriggle your toes. Nobody will see it. I'm doing it right now. You're looking at my face. If I'm doing a good job on video or on stage, you're looking at my face telling stories to you or talking with you. Now I'm wriggling my toes, so my body, my brain is now focusing on my toes, and I'm bringing blood to the periphery of my body. Now the good news is when I'm bringing blood to the periphery, to my fingers and to my toes, I cannot get the blood to my heart and my lungs to run or fight. That's what happens when we're in fight or flight. When we go into fight or flight or freeze, the muscles are being primed for action. They're being primed so we can actually fight a dinosaur or whatever. But what happens these days is because most things are a perceived danger, not an actual danger, we actually go into freeze, and that's never going to be helpful. So the quickest way to disarm the nervous system is to stand up tall and wriggle your toes. Now you'll notice one very important thing, and that is you can relax the tummy muscle, and now you can breathe more effectively. And when you can breathe better from your diaphragm and bring air into the lowest part of the lungs, the biggest part of the lungs, you get more oxygen to the brain and you can start to think again. You will no longer be in freeze. So wriggle your toes, take a nice deep breath, let that tummy go, and let it loosely go so there's no tension in the tummy, and then you're going to practice this sentence with me. You take a breath in, and when you speak out, when I am speaking, my tummy moves in. Take a breath. Relax the tummy. When I am speaking, my tummy moves in. Relax the tummy. When I am speaking, my tummy moves in, and keep wriggling your toes. What do you notice? You notice that you can breathe now, that you're controlling the breath, that the voice rides on. And when your voice can ride on a really strong, powerful stream of air, it sounds strong and confident and stable. And a voice that sounds strong and stable sounds confident and sounds like the voice of authority. If you found those tips helpful today, please subscribe and comment below with how the fear of public speaking has affected your life. What is it that you experience when you feel that fear? I would love to know what you need to learn, so please drop in the comments the biggest voice issue that you're struggling with, and I would love to shoot a video just for you. So thanks so much for tuning in to the Voice of Confidence TV. I'm Elisa James, your friendly neighborhood voice coach. I'll see you next time.